Okay, let's start off with a nice and easy one. What was the inspiration for Oblivion Song?
Yeah, I need to come up with a better answer for this. But the truth is, around 10 years ago, I read an article about how Jack Kirby, the great Jack Kirby, had never done a run on Batman, and how it would have been cool if he had kind of brought his, zany ideas and wackiness to a Batman book, and it started making me think, like, what would Jack Kirby's Batman have been like? Like, what kind of Gotham City would he have been in, and what kind of tools would Jack Kirby have given him? Like, because if you think about it, there'd be like crazy weapons that Jack Kirby would have given him in the '70s that he'd be using now that would be like Batman canon, but and so I started thinking about this cool superhero idea with like some crazy technology and like gothic locations, and over the course of a decade, it completely changed and morphed like every year until it was completely unrecognizable from that. And so I'd like to not be able to, I'd like to say it wasn't because of an article about Batman, but it really was. And, and then like another dimension pops into it, and, really thinking about the complacency that we have as a society, how we can just kind of ignore things no matter how bad they are. And if you think about a big chunk of Philadelphia just disappearing one day, and then you fast forward 10 years to where it's like a thing in a museum that people talk about sometimes, but it's not really that big a part of our lives, and how weird that is. There's just a lot going on in the story. So there's a lot of inspiration from different places, and it kind of morphs into this madness.
Okay. How did you come with the aesthetic of the art itself? Did you have any input in that, or did you?
Some input, but not that much. My input is finding a collaborator and finding somebody that'll help me bring the idea to life. And so I noticed Lorenzo's art probably about 3 years ago or so, and it took me a while to build up the nerve to email him, just because I was like, oh my gosh, this is some lofty Italian artist who's working on European albums, and spending 3 weeks working on a page and producing these great masterpieces, and I'd never be able to get him to slum it in American comics, but I ended up building up the nerve and asking him. We started talking about the project, and I knew from his body of work that he was somebody that would be able to visualize this world, give it a unique spin, do something that's unique, and kind of break new ground in this way. And I think that if you look at the visuals of the series, it's very unlike anything that you see in comics today. And I think that it's because he has a lot of European inspiration that isn't really present over here, and he's got a really great voice that I think lends to the project well.
Okay, awesome. Speaking of breaking ground, do you have plans, or can you see any legs with Oblivion Song having like transmedia potential?
Yeah, I think the potential is always there. I think that just because of everything that's going on with me with Walking Dead and everything, people are always interested in what new things I have going on. So it's something that's always kind of in the back of my mind, like you write something for a comic book medium, and how pages don't move, and it's all static images, and there's no sound, and so there's certain limitations. And so I'll be writing a scene, and I'll be like, oh, if this ever gets made into a movie or a television show, we could actually do this with this scene. And so that's something that I think about. But I love the comic book medium, and so I'm not like just slumming it as a comic in the hopes that it would ever be made as a television or movie. I don't really care if it ever gets made into a movie or a TV show. The comic is the thing that I love, and the fact that exists is enough for me. But there's a very good chance that it'll happen. We'll see.